Dean Ambrose chance to show the company that they're overlooking it maybe a bit. Yeah. Like I said, if there's any positive with the Hell in a Cell idea, it's that Ambrose will be fighting 2 main event guys on a pay-per-view possibly. Yeah. So if he does well, he wrestles a decent match, John Cena wouldn't. There's no reason really why the company can't overlook him anymore. And now here's Tyler Warner and Wayne Church.
Yeah, that was last week in the Great Wrestling Debate, and after this week on Raw, that was made official, at least to start off. I mean, John Cena will face Dean Ambrose, and the winner gets to take on Seth Rollins at in the main event at Hell in a Cell. So, it'll be interesting discussion on that. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much right now kind of all we're looking at with the rest of the card for Hell in a Cell.
It's the only match announced right now.
Right, yeah. And it's, they only got one more Raw until...
No, 2 more.
Oh, is it 5? Okay, I thought...
It's the 26th is when Hell in a Cell is, so they got 2 more weeks yet.
For some reason, I was thinking there was only 4. But, all right, so you got 2 more weeks until the pay-per-view. And, of course, also, The Rock returned on this episode of Monday Night Raw. That was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, which surprised the WWE too, because apparently he wasn't even in. Apparently, the only reason why they got him was because he was in New York City. He had to be in New York City that the exact same day.
Yeah, it was kind of funny too how when The Rock was explaining, I guess, his day, or how he gets up in the morning in the gym and does this and that. It's kind of funny how sort of maybe in a way that's like there's some truth to some of that.
Well, apparently he was meeting somebody from Time Warner.
Yeah.
Apparently, so it's probably a movie deal or a business deal or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he did actually go to Yankee Stadium to pay Derek Jeter's respects. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously he came out in almost like Yankees getup to begin with. Well, I guess Brooklyn getup and that, but. It felt like it was Yankee colors, so I don't know. There were a lot of Derek Jeter chants all night in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn. It was definitely a pretty lively crowd there in Brooklyn. That helped the show out a little bit at times. Of course, delivered some other chants that throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
They let if things were boring, they'd let you know it was boring and all this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, last week on SmackDown, actually, they had John Cena teaming up with Dean Ambrose, and that's kind of led into Raw here. I mean, Cena saw Seth Rollins on SmackDown on the ramp coming down and took his eye off the match at hand. Went after Seth Rollins, and then Dean Ambrose got double teamed, and then Cena comes back later, after that, but he was too late, so. That kind of set up an interesting, little interesting promo between the two guys a little later in the show. So I thought that was, I don't know, it's a bit of an interesting story right now. They have Dean Ambrose and feuding with the face of the company, John Cena. What do you think of the promo like between the exchange, sort of early on in the show with Dean Ambrose and Cena?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't bad or anything there. I mean, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's still the point of John Cena. Besides the fact that there's nothing else for him to do on Raw, apparently it needs to be involved with the Seth Rollins feud. But I don't know, Tyler. I'm at the point now where you want to grade Raws now. You got to do it with a curve, just compared to this was better than last week, but then this part was worse than last week's, and so on. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Dean looked, I guess, great in that he wasn't playing like he's a Cena fan or anything like that. I mean, he was, he was kind of like playing like still the whole like kind of the lone wolf character.
I don't care about I don't care about you and that kind of thing. Yeah, I thought it was a a funny exchange. I mean, and then Dean Ambrose saying, "All right, I'm just gonna walk off. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go
Coney Island.
Yeah,
go to Coney Island.
Yeah.
It's gonna ride the cycle.
Yeah,
which is like the oldest. Which was just like one of the oldest roller coasters in like North America, like wooden roller coasters, I believe.
And then they show him, walking to the subway and I guess getting out of there, and So you know, it was
apparently no one in New York City knows who Dean Ambrose is because he just walks on the subway and everyone else
he had
is
some
just.
shades. He had some shades on. I don't know, and then he takes them off in this. Yeah,
I doubt that was like live footage. I'm pretty sure
that was probably
taped that there. But I'm pretty sure those were actual like New Yorkers in a subway car, and like someone just walks in there,
Yeah.
and you think of all the carriage, you think like fans like start to turn maybe, and
yeah.
but it's like it's just like everyone's just like okay, it's a normal guy, you know.
Yeah. But you know, although an unstable, you know, kind of funny looking guy, like in a I don't know.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose has that unstable vibe to him, I guess you could say, and
I mean,
it worked here. And Cena just kind of looked embarrassed in the ring, you know, like okay, now I got to fight this match by myself.
Well, he looked more confused if anything.
Confused and but it was just good stuff out of Dean Ambrose, I thought there, and so. So you had that, and then later on, the two of them later on at the main event, I guess. I guess we'll jump to that, and I don't know, we'll bounce around with other things that happened.
Yes.
Then later on, he Cena's supposedly fighting this match by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Seth Rollins was supposed to start the match, and then right away he tags Kane in. So I guess. Well,
the bell did ring, so he wasn't officially starting the match.
Yeah,
I mean, Troy didn't say anything about contact or had to be contact. He just said Seth's going to start the match. Yeah. Well, the bell rings, so the match started. So
Cena continues to kind of be the punchline of some jokes here, and
I mean Triple H's line for about the whole. Well, just remember, John,
backstage,
just remember,
oh,
never back down and don't quit. And all John said was just like, yeah, I know. As in, yeah, I know what my own catchphrases are.
Yeah. So that you had that start to the match, and Cena kind of getting, double teamed and everything, disqualification. Dean Ambrose comes down, of course, with a hot dog cart as if he came from Coney Island.
Don't know how the hell he got the hot dog cart, not only to Raw, but
just like steal it from somebody, and I don't know.
Yeah, but even just walking from there to Coney Island, I mean.
Yeah. We got that phone. But anyways, so
it's probably the septic company.
Yeah.
Supposed to be getting that looked at today.
All right, so
this is the final ring, Tyler. It's gonna.
Yeah, I think normally 4 is the magic number for the phone, but all right, so Ambrose comes down with this hot he sprays mustard at Orton and Kane
and ketchup.
Mustard and ketchup, and he's like eating
which apparently is kryptonite for these individuals.
Hot dog in hand, I mean, with Dean Ambrose,
I actually would have enjoyed it if he would have pulled maybe a kind of Austin move where he's just like maybe sits at the stand and just starts eating hot dogs and just watches the match. Maybe like that would have just been like kind of like I'm just gonna sit here and just enjoy seeing his ass kicked probably a bit.
Yeah,
that's the one reason why he loves because I'm gonna come back, John. But you kind of left me hanging and get my ass kicked to get the SmackDown. Payback's a bitch sometimes. I'll come down and help you just like you did on SmackDown there, but you're still gonna get your ass kicked and get a beating before I even do that.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, then Dean Ambrose does get his hands on Seth Rollins for a little bit. You got a whole other brawl, and basically, Dean Ambrose looking strong tonight on Raw after, last week both of them getting curb stomped on Raw. And,
well, if you mean that Dean Ambrose was the last guy standing because he just turned Cena around and just like hit his double arm DDT on him.
After that match,
I guess you can say he looked strong.
After that match was Triple H comes out and sort of a plan B in a sense, considering Brock Lesnar. Yeah, Lesnar's not going to be at Hell in a Cell now,
or Survivor Series or TLC.
So.
The bookings for those pay-per-views is gonna be interesting for the rest of the year.
Yeah, bit of a gap there, and it'll be interesting to see what they do there with Lesnar, out for a while.
Well, Survivor Series is simple. Just make like a 5-on-5v5 Survivor Series main event, and TLC. I don't know. Since Rollins has nobody to cash the briefcase in, you might as well just have him. And usually, TLC usually ends with a TLC match. So the way I see, you can either do like a pin via pinfall one, like a 3v3, like almost like Team Hell No and Ryback in the Shield that one
A couple
time.
of years ago, yeah.
Or you can just do what you do with Dolph Ziggler, just have him put the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line, and like have maybe some other guys, like maybe like a fatal 4-way ladder match, maybe or something like that. Or maybe a second Money in the Bank kind of ladder match, maybe. I don't know. I mean, just
or maybe a contract match to decide who goes on to face Lesnar at Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it has to be something there.
Something, yeah. They need some kind of main event match that people are going to want to see.
I mean, but it's but then it's these kind of shows where you're kind of glad you have the network there because if it been on the old deal, these papers would have got some pretty shitty buy rates. I think.
Yeah, I mean, people would. Yeah.
I mean, Hell in a Cell right now is not worth $60. Yeah. Now for about $10 a month, yeah, I'd say you're not really wasting money.
Yeah.
I mean, you might still not want to watch the pay-per-view or not because you just have no interest whatsoever. But
yeah. But yeah, so right now that match was made. Dean Ambrose and John Cena. The winner goes on to take on Seth Rollins. In a Hell in a Cell, and yeah, I guess that arm DDT or whatever he did on Cena after that. Yeah, I guess setting a bit of a tone here, and the unstable Dean Ambrose, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. For me, just like the briefcase scene. I mean, yeah, it was kind of great, but then once you see the green slime, it kind of like kills the.
Yeah, it had that Nickelodeon vibe again.
Well, yeah, I mean, the guy comes down in a food cart. Okay, that's kind of cool, and then he just squirts ketchup and mustard on everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the coolest moment was when he grabbed the tongs and he grabbed
Rollins' balls. Oh yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, I didn't even. I forgot to even mention that. Yeah, that's.
I mean that was actual weapon there. It wasn't like Rollins.
Oh my god!
It was like when Ambrose like just threw hot dog rolls at Orton and Kane, which apparently are very hard hot dog rolls, I guess, because apparently for them it hurt. Just like the whole ketchup and mustard deal.
Put some macaroni and cheese on there too.
Yeah, but then the tongs scene in it.
Yeah.
I don't know, made it a little more aggressive there on the PG end, a little more high end.
Well, yeah, and that's the one thing maybe with it being PG is the fact that you don't see. I mean, because back in the day, obviously there would always be a few shots to the ball was that almost every show, and now now it's like, okay, well if you just get one, it kind of shocks the audience a bit because it's like, okay, well, didn't see that come. So I don't know. I mean. But no, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of like 50-50 on the way they've been handling Ambrose to that. But like I said, it's a PG show that leans more towards G than PG.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I said, I've been watching like SmackDown episodes this week on the network just because, they've been hyping up the 50th anniversary tomorrow show and so on. And, all the shows are labeled PG, and it just it says just violence and language in that. But clearly, you compare that to this PG, it's night and day. I mean, it's clearly that WWE is trying to lean more towards a G product. It was like Raw can't be switched to G is because G you can't have fighting in a G product. For a G product, it has to be. It automatically makes that PG in that, but that's maybe the only reason why there. But as far as like, I guess, storytelling and no swearing and all that stuff, I mean, or lack of swearing.
Yeah. I mean, so 50-50 on Dean Ambrose, how they're handling him. I think it's at least nice that he's in the main event picture and they're not,
Well,
now
he's kind of in by default because of injuries right now.
But I mean, knowing WWE, they could have easily screwed this up and just made Cena and Rollins feud, and then Dean Ambrose, I don't know, have him feud with somebody else. So at least they didn't screw anything up here. At least as far as
so you got two more
where Ambrose should be.
So you got 2 more pay-per-views. You got Tyler, like you screw it up easily.
Well, yeah, they could
if they haven't already, because clearly the ratings are not reflecting well in the current product.
Yeah. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I guess you were before the before we started the show today.
Yes. While your laptop was having issues in the beginning.
Yeah.
Apparently I think it was the SmackDown taping, so like the 15th show was taped on Tuesday.
Yeah, spoiler alert here. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody knows SmackDown's a taped show. It's not live.
But if you're gonna if you watch it on Friday and
apparently they named the stipulation for the Ambrose Cena match, and apparently it's like a no holds barred match, but apparently it's also a pole match with like a contract.
Are you kidding me?
I guess the contracts for like the Rollins match later in the night.
Yeah.
Now I don't like pole matches. I never.
Yeah, me neither. I think just make them a ladder match. That's my like the pole. Yeah.
But I mean, to me, the fact that it's a pole match just means one thing here, which is that the company had no idea who the hell was gonna take the pinfall in the match, pretty much, or didn't want anybody to take a pinfall in the match because they don't want, I guess, the number 1, number 2 babyface to look bad in the match in that.
Yeah.
Which then begs the question: why haven't we even faced each other in the first place?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I mean, it's kind of just it's this company is just afraid to take a risk with somebody.
It's been I mean, it's been too much of that the past few years. It feels like, especially.
I mean, like I said, there's a part of me hoping that that's not true in that, but apparently from people who were there, that's supposedly what the match is going to be.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna say it's just this is just a company that's afraid to take risks now, because I don't know how okay, you kind of protect Rollins. I mean, you kind of protect Ambrose, you kind of protect Cena in that, but you're kind of like taking away a high quality match then.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Cena and Ambrose put on a pretty damn good pole match in that, but usually, best of my knowledge, pole matches are pretty tough to have a quality match with, because, like I said, all you gotta do is get on the top of the rope, and it's right there. It's not like there's any problem with it or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the pole match either, and yeah, again, it goes back to the whole thing that they don't want any of them to take a pinfall, and I mean, it's unfortunate. They're really gun shy when it comes to
Todd, the reason why it probably was a ladder match because of high risk of injury.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get
they're very lenient on the roster right now. They kind of got to protect both of these guys here, because this is like 1 and 2, and after that you got maybe the Big Show then maybe.
Yeah, Mark Henry, or I don't know. I get that.
They're very lenient now, so they're really trying to keep these guys healthy for Mania season. So.
Yeah, which I get that, but it's just a pole match. It's just I don't know. I'd rather than just have a traditional match.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just have a traditional match then. I mean,
I don't know.
They're gonna have a bad match, but it's not because Ambrose was not ready, and that's because it was a freaking pole match.
Yeah.
And I don't see a whole lot of pole matches getting the job done.
Or I don't know, a tables match maybe if they didn't want to have a guy get pinned. I don't know, but I guess they're going with a pole match, and I guess we'll wait and see if they make that official. And I don't know, but
apparently they announced it on the 50th anniversary of SmackDown. It's apparently that's being reported.
Yeah, then I guess prepare for that. Now the guy that they have win, I guess that remains to. I guess that's definitely up for debate right now.
Well, obviously the next thing I'm waiting for is the consolation match with Randy Orton to get announced. Then I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we said in the show intro, like it's a good this could be a good opportunity for Dean Ambrose to have 2 great match. Well, maybe the pole match won't be that great. But
yeah. Great. It was a great idea.
Yeah, it was.
To give Dean an opportunity against maybe two guys in that, but now it's just like he's got to have a passable pole match with Cena, and then he's got to have Then finally, I guess he has his opportunity. I guess with Orton or Rollins later in the night. Then
if he wins, faces Seth Rollins in the cell. I mean, that definitely could be pretty interesting. You would have thought it'd be like a feud-ending match too. So I don't know if they go with Ambrose here to win that. It's tough to call right now.
I don't know. I mean, Ambrose hasn't beaten Rollins once yet, and apparently Cena is the one that feels that he's he deserves a shot first, and then Ambrose, even though Cena was get screwed out of one match, and Ambrose only got stabbed in the back and had got cursed out through a cinder block.
Yeah, I mean, amongst other things. Yeah. So
I don't know. I just find it kind of strange that Cena gets screwed out of one title match out of the 100 title matches this man's had in his career.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like that one match overshadows all the shit that Ambrose has gone through with Rollins in the past couple months.
4 months. Yeah, it's dated back now to like over 4 months. So yeah, so
like I said, yeah, sure, Ambrose wins, but at the end of the day, nobody wins it because then we get John Cena versus Randy Orton in another pay-per-view match. Then.
Yeah. So
and they already have overkilled those two feuding with each other. So I don't think there's almost like a party just that says just put Cena in the main event. It's just,
either way. I
mean, either way, Ambrose is facing a veteran. I guess at the end of the night, he's facing someone who will either say, "Yeah, the kid's ready," or he'll, in Orton's case, he can pull a Kofi Kingston on Ambrose and go, "The kid's not ready. He's just not ready."
Yeah. So I mean, as far as Hell in a Cell pay-per-view right now, the way it looks, I guess you got 3 matches right.
If it was under the old system, it's a pass. It's gonna get a very shitty buy rate. It might still get a shitty buy rate.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's like there's even like some people I bet that have the network that are just like saying, "I'm not even gonna watch it. I subscribe." It's just there's no point. There's really nothing viable on this pay-per-view right now.
Yeah. So you also had I guess Roman Reigns checking in.
For 30 seconds.
Yeah, for like 30 seconds. Yeah, I mean, I was like Michael Cole just like asked one question. I would have thought he was going to ask more questions.
No, complete waste of a segment. That they actually hyped up all week in that. Like,
yeah, it's like
tune in. Reigns is going to be talking. He's going to update us and everything in that.
And then after that, I'm just like, wait, that's it?
I mean, all I really got from Reigns is just that it's just like, yeah, I'm going to come back and nothing's going to, I'm gonna just go right into my old spot that Dean is keeping warm for me right now, pretty much. I mean, it wasn't like he was like acknowledging like, yeah, good luck, Dean. I hope you get Seth and that, and that it was kind of just like, oh, I'm gonna be back in a couple of months, and don't worry, I'll be back, and
you can believe that, drop one of those in there.
I can go back as being the number 2 guy in the company. Dean can just drop back to number 3, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what I took out of that. So it's like,
So again, I would have thought that Cole was gonna ask more questions, and I don't know. It seemed like it was authentic though. Like what Reigns was like. It obviously wasn't like scripted or anything. It was kind of just Reigns, ad-libbing, saying I guess whatever.
Tyler, I kind of disagree there. First of all, it's via satellite there, so it's probably done in like a studio somewhere.
Well, no,
somewhere
because he was saying like and this and that. He had some ums in there, and so I would have thought
it's like the mics. This guy has been like a killer on the mic based on what I've seen.
Yeah, but he's not. But when he's on the mic or in any other segment, he's not saying ums or anything. I mean, I don't know. To me, it didn't.
No, Roman says. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Get close to the microphone. Mouth close to the microphone.
No, I'm saying like in just actual talking. I don't know, actual voicing here. He doesn't say ums or anything. On normal, everyday promos or whatever. So I don't know. I think this. I
don't know. I mean, he also like someone just said, okay, Roman, you got 30 because it wasn't like it was a live first guy. It was like pre-taped too. This so. Probably what Roman got told by a camera guy is, okay, Roman, 30 seconds. Yeah, just give a 30-second update there. Yeah. And Ray just took the top of his head here. Holy shit, I got to sum up this been 30 seconds. so he's probably just going, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was
believe that.
Yeah.
Which if that's the case, the guy clearly is not ready for prime time then.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could have had more questions from Michael Cole, but I was just like kind of shocked. Like, wait, that's it? That's all? That they hyped up last week.
All I can say was this: I was shocked how little time they spent on the quote unquote next big thing compared to the Today Show host.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean,
and a miniature gator taking on a miniature bull apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of skippable stuff here on Raw, obviously. I mean,
was Matt Lauer and Al Welker too busy, or is it because it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month that it had to be two females?
yeah.
I shouldn't say that there. It might have
I
been
mean, I know
It might have been a USA call too.
Yeah.
I mean, hell that. What, do you ever catch the commercials for that reality show called Chrisley Knows Best and that?
I don't. If they come on somewhere, I don't. I just tune out.
No, I'm just saying because I swear to you, every Raw I watch, they always type up this whole Chrisley knows. Who the hell is this Todd Chrisley guy?
Yeah, I don't.
Like, seriously, who the hell is this guy?
I don't. Yeah, I don't even. I don't know. I just tune. I mean, really, I just.
Apparently, he's gonna show up on Raw next week.
Yeah, I remember they did advertise somebody, so I don't know, but
I mean, if USA wants to cross promote with their other programs, that's fine, but get the good shit then.
Yeah.
Todd Chrisley Knows Best.
Yeah.
Who I don't know. Apparently, is a celebrity. I don't know what the hell the guy did.
Yeah.
I mean, what you couldn't get the cast from White Collar? They were too busy. What, the cast from Psych was too busy?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's way better USA programming than you could cross promote with and so on. But it's just I don't know. I mean, I would give the Raw crowd credit when they brought out that one reporter who's a kind of battling cancer right now.
Yeah.
They did respect her.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, unlike Kathy Lee Gifford and I don't know what Hoda or I don't know, I can't name her co-host naming that, but the B team from the Today Show essentially came out and they got booted out of the building, and they're wondering why. It's because nobody gives a shit about what you got to say,
Yeah.
and they're like trying to copy like this. They're almost trying to talk like they do on their show, which is stupid because I don't know how many people watch Raw, watch the Today Show. But yet, watch you two on the Today Show when clearly Matt Lauer has been the face of the Today Show for so many years.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, you definitely had that on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I guess the Rock coming back, is a surprise return here. Definitely the crowd you could tell the crowd was shocked and
well. Like I said, it was an actual legitimate surprise. Like Raw, it was like WWE set knew this Monday Rock's gonna be here.
Yeah,
it was kind of like it was like a very last second like deal apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know, and I was actually happy with the way the whole Rusev deal went. If he took a rock bomb or an elbow, I said that's it. Rusev's done as a character. That's it. He's done.
Yeah,
but just getting punched out of the ring there, I kept him pretty. That's kind of pretty protected, I think.
Yeah.
For the day that John Cena faces him, probably, and then he's probably gonna lose, and hopefully he can keep it together, unlike Bray Wyatt, which apparently the Wyatt family is splitting up. Apparently,
apparently they're The
whole point of last week's video and this week's video is that Bray is setting Luke Harper and Eric Rowan free. Now, I'm fine with Luke Harper getting a singles push. I think the guy definitely has the wrestling ability. Eric Rowan is just going to die a visible death. But the only reason why he even was able to get in the main rosters because he was part of the Wyatt family in the first place. He plays the role right. He plays the enforcer. He has in tag team matches. He's able to work a full match in that. I mean. Yeah. But as a singles wrestler, I've seen him do singles matches. He's not that great. Harper actually has wrestling ability in that. But it's just, it blows my mind all of a sudden this company just gave him on his faction here.
Yeah.
It really shows you how lucky the Shield as a faction was. Because, I guess you can kind of say that's kind of the whole history with this company is that there's certain factions that they really like, and there's certain factions that they're hot for like a month, like maybe a month, and then they'll just die a slow, painful death. Then pretty much. I mean, the Straight Edge Society is a great example of that. At one point, it was like supposedly the hottest like heel group on SmackDown, but WWE still at one point just said no, it's just not getting over like we thought it was. So we're killing the gimmick already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I don't know. I mean, apparently that for Bray Wyatt, apparently they're gonna do is they might call it the Ascension, and that's gonna be like his new like followers, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be 50-50 on that until I actually see it. If that's the case, because I am a fan of the Ascension, and maybe pairing him with Bray Wyatt might actually help him, not hurt him. Maybe so just being a tag team but it blows my mind how fast it's coming to give on the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
You know, they barely got the Shield attention. I felt like.
Yeah.
And it was just and look, it was kind of like when after Bray's feud with Cena died, that was it. The Bray Wyatt character just Jericho tried his best to help the guy out there, but at the end of the day, who was at a pay-per-view at Night of Champions and who had a match at Night of Champions and who was just sitting, I guess, backstage at the end of the night. Yeah. You know, you really can't say Bray Wyatt won the feud if Jericho has a match and he doesn't.
I just think somebody owes us an explanation.
So it blows my mind here because, like I said, to me that means Eric Rowan's gone. I don't know where the company thinks this guy's ready for a singles push. Harper might surprise people. I think the guy's decent on the mic, and I think he's very underrated as a singles performer.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, but you know, and like I said, if it means the Ascension get called up and they get involved with a talented guy like Bray Wyatt, it might work. But this company's main problem now is young. Is they don't have a lot of young talent based around this company right now.
Yeah.
Good or bad guys, really, for that matter. And the fact that what at one point I thought was like their number one heel at a point, all of a sudden just fell from grace magically like the past couple of months.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's a shit. Yeah.
It's these kind of moments along with Bo Dallas that just terrifies you about the future of this company here. It's like they want the next big star, but they don't have the patience to wait for that star to develop and mature in that.
Yeah. Yeah, to get over.
I mean, you know, I talked about John Cena. It was like John Cena was straight up main event right from the get go, and he did
a couple years.
I mean, don't get me wrong. His first two matches were against Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho, and so yeah, he did come out of the gate against top tier guys, but eventually he had to eventually work his way up through mid card and get a character together and all that. You know, can you imagine the company once again didn't have time to wait for John Cena to develop into a character and that?
Yeah,
gone. Which what we talked about yesterday means
last week. Yeah,
I don't know what that means for the state of this company then, because I can't figure out who'd be the face of the company then if John Cena is not the guy then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently the internet can't either because no one has commented who they thought they would be the next John Cena. Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Now that we bring that up, should we segue into alternate wrestling history?
Did we sum up everything about Raw?
I think. Pretty much. I mean, yeah. I mean, the Rock, good stuff. You know, vintage Rock.
Yeah.
You know,
the guy's always has been able to keep a crowd in the palm of his hands.
Right. That's
always been a benefit of him, pretty much.
He'll probably put Rusev over down the road whenever.
They're not gonna feud.
Or if it's just a one-off. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I mean. There was talk, but I doubt The Rock would come back to feud with such an up and coming guy.
Yeah, I mean,
I doubt it. I doubt that The Rock was to come back for maybe one more match. That he wants to feud with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's maybe down the road if he.
That's not to insult Rusev there, but he's still a tested product right now.
Yeah,
he hasn't really faced in my mind a true roadblock or had a true feud yet.
Yeah.
He's beaten the guys he was supposed to beat, and that's that. But he hasn't really faced the guys that proven, and like I said, Sheamus might be his first real test. Maybe that if he does well there, that's great. Probably Cena's going to be his biggest test there because that's really what's going to show people how serious do people take this guy as a character, really, when they're facing the best guy in that. I mean, like I said, it wasn't planned. Like the whole Rock bit was even planned to begin with there, so I doubt there's like even a storyline plan afterwards. Although I at least should bring this up too. Apparently, also the 50th anniversary, Rock, I guess because he was at Raw that night, they decided to tape a segment backstage for SmackDown. They were on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And apparently it was Stephanie McMahon, it was Triple H, and The Rock. And apparently Triple H and Rock were joking about like the feud back in the day and that. And apparently like Rock, like one of them was there, yeah, but who would win a fight now? probably between the two of us in that.
Yeah.
And they just started an argument about who would win a fight today, like between the two of them in that. At one point, that was discussed as being a possible feud for WrestleMania 30 at one point. It was Rock and Triple H going at it.
I remember. Yeah.
That kind of dropped because I think that was part of that whole Vince McMahon was going to come back and try to take the company back.
That never really happened.
But at the same time, I think Vince is really fading away as a character.
Yeah.
Just because of his age and his health and that. I mean, you look at the guy now; he really starting to look his age now. Like he's not looking young anymore. Yeah. Like he's like back in the day, he was like kind of like a young 50 in that. But now he's like he's looking his age now.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean he's not going to die soon or anything. It just means that he's starting to look very old.
It's probably still lifting and yeah.
Probably still getting away the What was that one like muscle magazine you like flexed for or something like that? That one time.
I don't know, but yeah.
But no, I mean, so that's a discussion. Obviously, that's the idea for 31, is Rock and Triple H. I mean, it can work. I mean, that's probably. I know everyone would say Rock and Austin was Rock's best feud in his career. Triple H is a close second, I think. Yeah. Because those two those two carried the entire company when Austin went down with his whole neck and surgery and all that deal.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah. All right. So.
I mean, I said, obviously, if that's the case, Dave Bautista's gonna be pissed off then because Triple H is who he wanted to supposedly face at WrestleMania. So.
Yeah. That might not happen.
Yep.
All right. So, alternate wrestling history.
Yes.
All right.
Do you have a theme song for that?
Well, today, since I knew we were gonna. We teased it last week, I think.
Yes. We're going to talk about
Rocky 3, if it was never made.
Well, no. If Hulk Hogan was never was Thunder Lips in Rocky 3.
Yeah, okay.
The movie's going to get made, Tyler, because Rocky 2 was a success in that.
Yeah.
Okay. But if Hulk Hogan never got the role of Thunder Lips,
right,
which has kind of got him this mainstream attention, which kind of made Vince McMahon say, yeah, I want to make wrestling into this national product. Go from a regional product to a national product. I need somebody who's had national exposure. And at the time, really, it was only Hulk Hogan. Though you could make an argument for maybe Andre the Giant, too, in that. But if Hulk Hogan never was Thunder Lips in Rocky 3, would Hulkamania have even taken off? Would Hogan, even have been rehired by Vince McMahon at the time? And would wrestling have even gone to a national stage? And if it did, would it have happened maybe later? Or would it even happen maybe at all? Would it still be regional and so on?
Right. Sure. Certainly, also Rocky 3 kind of helped Mr. T's career take off. Yeah.
That was his first movie, I believe.
It was his first, and he started hearing the lines like "I pity the fool," and he found a way to bring that out.
I mean, for me, Mr. T's only great moment in his career as an actor was the 18, probably.
Yeah.
As far as longevity goes, I really, honestly, besides Rocky, I can't think of any other big movie the guy was in.
Yeah, it's kind of just like the Mr. T gimmick, I guess. Really, it's, I don't know, but yeah, because he's not known for tons of movie roles and everything.
No,
but I just the gimmick, I guess.
I mean, and to be fair, Tyler, out of all the actors that got a grade critic wise, I think Mr. T got. I mean, as far as Oscars go, best actors in that.
Yeah.
You have heard of the Raspberry Awards, right?
Yeah,
Which they kind of do as a joke, of the day before. I think it's the day before the Oscars, and that's where they nominate the worst people of the year in acting, movie wise, writing, so on, etc., etc. And apparently, Mr. T was up for a Raspberry for his role in Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Apparently, people just were not impressed with his. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't say a whole lot in the movie.
Yeah, and that
he really has a very limited like lines and so on.
He was pretty. Yeah, I mean that, and it was his first major role too. So I mean,
and that's kind of the criticism of Rocky 4 too of Dolph Lundgren. Grant, it was maybe I think I might do more of the character he's playing, which was like this kind of silent Russian kind of dude. He's not really meant to say a whole lot.
Yeah.
Just a stand look intimidating pretty much.
He's I think it's 4 or 5 lines of English in the whole movie.
Yeah. And the one is pretty much when he kills Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, obviously that helped.
Well,
Mr.
I don't know.
T
Obviously, being I guess seeing all 6 Rocky movies, where would you rank Rocky 3? Kind of.
Well, I mean, if you like, obviously, like Rocky, like the original one is like the,
Well, yeah.
critically, but like as far as my favorites,
Although two wasn't too far behind the original to a degree.
yeah, definitely not. Like, I mean, there's like flaws in like 3 and 4, but like I don't know,
Well,
just
well, 4 was completely different from any.
yeah,
I mean, yeah. The most unique thing about 3 was that it involved Rocky getting his ass kicked.
yeah,
and then second
like,
for a rematch.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like each one's different, and
I kind of like Rocky.
I kind of respect them. Each
I mean, Rocky 4 kind of threw like politics into it and kind of, and
yeah.
that. I mean, granted, like once again, maybe a bit too late with the whole Cold War.
Yeah.
Kind of hyped up because I believe like by the time Rocky 4 came out, the Cold War was pretty much almost over.
Yeah.
And it was like the mighty Soviet Union was the mighty Soviet Union anymore. But,
yeah.
But I mean, like I said, in Rocky 5, they gotta make me is like the worst Rocky film ever.
5, yeah, 5. I don't know. Like it had its moments, but
Tommy Gunn.
Yeah. It had like its like Rocky like returning to Philadelphia and returning to Mighty Mick's gym and that whole
and not boxing at all that whole movie.
But street fighting at the end. Yeah,
street fighting at the end. And knocking out against a Don King wannabe, I guess.
Yeah, that was yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm still. I look at Rocky. I look at the new Rocky too, like the final Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Which I think was only made to try to redeem Rocky 5 maybe a bit.
Yeah, he wanted. Yeah,
I mean, try to redeem the
Stallone
character.
himself kind of wasn't very proud with how Rocky 5 turned out. Originally, like he had Rocky getting killed in the street fight. Actually, from what I read.
Huh.
But they changed that at the last minute.
Well, actually, that would be the first character they went and killed off. You know the First Blood movie, the first Rambo movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what the original ending was for that movie?
I haven't even.
Rambo tells.
I saw parts of it.
Tells Trotter to shoot him.
Yeah.
Because he can't live anymore. All his Vietnam friends are dead. He doesn't want to live in a world where he's not respected or treated with respect. And that like he can't live like this. So he tells Trotter to pull it, and then Trotter refuses. But then he decides to shoot himself then in the chest. Then and then the character dies. Then.
Yeah.
Obviously, you go that ending. It's great. It depicts kind of post-traumatic stress syndrome for Vietnam veterans, and that very well, I think.
Yeah.
But then you don't get any more Rambo movies. Then the character's dead.
Yeah.
So that's why they did go that ending there. So, but yeah, no. The one part I had of Rocky Balboa is just the whole idea that Stallone at that age could still be believable as a boxer.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried their best. They kind of like updated the fight scenes to make it look as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
I think Stallone always has handled fight choreography very well in all of his movies and that. But no, I couldn't take him serious.
Yeah. I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, you had to use your imagination definitely, but
there were actually rumors that, to the extent of Rocky Balboa, that WWE was actually reconsidering maybe putting the belt on Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan at one point.
Yeah, that would have been 2006.
Yeah. It was to kind of just sum up the whole idea of, oh well, these guys are old and decrepit and past the prime and that, but they can still get one more run of this title probably.
Yeah.
So, but I guess go back to our alternate history
Rocky
here.
3, yeah.
So Hulk Hogan does not get the role for Thunder Lips, which could happen because Thunder Lips, if you remember, was billed as 7 feet, a 7 feet giant, and Hulk Hogan, best of my knowledge, is only 6'9".
Yeah.
Then again, Rocky Balboa was billed as 6'1", and I know for a fact that Stallone.
I think 5'11".
Yeah, Stallone's like 5'11". He's not even 6 foot.
In real life, he's like 5'7". So they drop each guy down like 4 inches or however much. You get the same effect.
Same effect. Stallone's a shrimp compared to Rocky to Hulk Hogan. But I guess 7 foot. I don't know. Would they have gone with Andre the Giant? Maybe.
I mean,
he was kind of a mainstay guy at the time, still in wrestling at the time. Would they have maybe chosen Andre over Hogan? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's Google worthy. To.
I mean, like I said, the whole match between Rocky and Thunder Lips supposed to be inspired by the guy that supposedly is the real Rocky Balboa, Chuck Webner.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw the 30 for 30 movie on the real Rocky Chuck Webner. At one point, he fought an exhibition fight with Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
And he actually got his ass kicked because Andre actually, I mean, the guy's a giant. You know, you look at it there, and the guy had, Andre had no script, he had no lines, so he just pretty much went out there and just bear hugged the guy pretty much the entire time. And he actually did, which is what Thunder Lips did to the Rock. He actually threw Chuck Webner out of the ring. He threw him out of the ring. Wait, and Webner's like this big boxer too here, but he just got manhandled then. But that's supposedly what inspired the whole Thunder Lips throwing Rocky out of the ring too, even though there wasn't Stallone in that.
Yeah.
But I guess Andre the Giant would make sense then, I guess, because he was already kind of mainstream at the time.
Yeah.
And he is 7 foot something now.
Yeah. It would have even made a bigger, difference between Stallone and...
Which is maybe... I don't even know...
like 7.5 feet.
I don't even know if Stallone could even reach with his arm length to Andre's face in that. At least with Hogan, he could kind of do that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, it could have been somebody else, too, maybe. They could have... I'm trying to think of, there's other big guys they could have just randomly picked, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know what it took made those guys movie stars right off the bat. I mean...
Yeah.
But... I just think of Andre the Giant maybe would have been a great substitute. I think if Hogan was not the guy in the end, but I guess besides that, what would that mean for WWE then?
Yeah, I mean Hulkamania maybe never runs wild, as we were saying earlier on.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess so. Let's just say Vince, I guess does not hire Hogan because Hogan does not get the mainstream attention due to Rocky 3. Then let's just say because he kind of he's not really this viable free agent anymore in the market. Then let's just say Vince doesn't hire Hogan. Then where does Vince go then?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean,
because Vince's goal all along was he wanted to make wrestling a national promotion. That was his goal, with or without Hulk Hogan. But he did need but he knew to get that exposure, you need a guy who has just as much exposure. So once again, I guess I'll go with the guy that we substitute for Rocky 3. Would he go with Andre the Giant, who his dad was a big fan of? But then again, at this point, Andre's really starting to have the health problems.
Yeah,
starting to gain some weight. I mean, he's really not like the best shape of his life when Vince takes the company, kind of. So would that have even been a smart move on their part? Because then I don't know. Very soon Andre can't go. He can't make the appearances he used to. Tough to Yeah, he's a big guy in that, but does that still sell tickets in that?
Yeah. I don't know because the Hulk Hogan gimmick.
Yeah.
Had that different kind of pizzazz. I guess you could say that. Andre the Giant. It was Andre the a big giant.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't So but yeah, obviously Hulk had this. Would go on to develop this this unique gimmick and. Kind of this like John Cena back then.
He kind of used the gimmick in AWA.
Yeah.
Already, so it was kind of already a proven gimmick, and supposedly he was selling tickets in AWA. Grant, it was Vern Gagne who wasn't a businessman; he was a wrestler, and he didn't like Hogan's wrestling ability, which is why he never got the world title. Which is why Hulk Hogan bolted to Vince McMahon. Because it wasn't about wrestling, but it was about personality, charisma. Now, Grant, would he still have hired Hogan due to charisma? Yeah.
Yeah.
But is charisma enough to get over and create national exposure? Would Hulkamania have been running wild if someone did say, "Hey, look, it's Thunder Lips from Rocky 3"?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting topic of discussion there.
Yeah.
And it's the role too of Thunder. It's kind of interesting too because it's like it was like just that minor role, like that part of the movie, and then for a charity match and. I mean,
to be fair, it took him 10 days to film that all those scenes and that for the match and all that, which just blows my mind there because they were something that short, But no, and like I said, it's kind of like a big deal because it kind of shows you how Rock has really faded as far as taking people serious as competitors.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it showed Hulk Hogan's personality definitely.
Yeah.
To a degree. It kind of showed the wrestling persona that some of these wrestlers have in that.
Yeah.
And how serious that they will take. Because there's that one deal when he's shaking like Rock's hand. And Rock's going, "Hey, what's you going crazy earlier?" And Hulk says, "It's the name of the game, brother."
Yeah, that's the name of the game,
brother. Something like that. Because he's kind of just like kind of going back to like normal. I guess okay, I'm not Thunder Lips anymore. When he takes that photo there, and I think Rox is like, "Well, tell you what, charity hurts, man."
Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah, that's and then the Yeah, they take the picture in the newspaper, and then
Yeah.
that's a wrap for Thunder Lips' role, I guess, or Hulk Hogan as Thunder Lips.
I remember Stallone told a funny moment because you do remember that there's one point where when Rocky actually picks up Thunder Lips and he throws him out of the ring. That is actually Stallone picking up Hogan. The problem was, Stallone could not deadlift Hogan, so Hogan had to literally like kind of leap up onto Stallone's shoulders. So at least he had so at least he could actually like elevate him then.
Yeah.
So, but that is actually Stallone supposedly tossing Hulk Hogan out of the ring.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like Stallone said. It wasn't like that was him purely lifting Hogan up on his own power. And that he tried to actually lift Hogan off the ground in that, but he couldn't do it. Hogan was too big, so Hogan actually had to have like help him out greatly in that spot.
Yeah, I mean Stallone was like he was pretty like down to like he was like below 160 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
5'7". So
but
he was definitely like.
But he was also juicing the hell out of his body probably around that time.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, he was pretty his diet I read was like egg whites in the morning. Then like he wouldn't eat like anything. He'd eat the little fruit so he had like a pretty like one-dimensional
okay,
diet.
Tyler, but much like Arnold Schwarzenegger, those guys kind of like a bodybuilding career in the past, so they were juicing occasionally too.
Well, I know
like Stallone and like Schwarzenegger are trying like
he didn't have the he didn't have the Schwarzenegger mass. But he like really low body fat and like I don't know, but he couldn't. Yeah, I mean. I could imagine.
Like I said, that's kind of the reason why some people hate Rocky for now is because the whole, well, look, the Russians taking steroids and Rocky's doing all natural workouts here, and it's like, yeah, but that's Sam Stallone was popping, taking shots and popping pills like almost every day at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like it was like actors. It's like actors get drug tested.
I know, yeah. Well,
I don't care how you get. Just get big.
Well, I know in Stallone's more elder age. I know he's been an advocate of HGH.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you can clearly see the side effects of HGH. The guy does not look very impressive right now for his age.
In his older age, and yeah.
And Schwarzenegger is worse. I mean, probably was. I mean, you talk about him being more jacked there. All those muscles are pretty much deflated. It looks like yeah. It's almost all flab. I'm like looking at the guy.
Well, yeah,
and supposedly the guy still works out in that, but then Hulk Hogan took steroids too in that. I mean, which is why he kind of when people say when he lifts that, kind of lifts like a girl, kind of not to be sexist anyway. But that's how like one bodybuilder described it. It's just that the guy's barely lifting what he used to lift back in the day in that.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would say something about Stallone and about Schwarzenegger too. But that's what steroids does to you. It kind of like. You get these muscles, but also you get these long-term side effects then for the rest of your life then.
Yeah, yeah.
But I guess going back to the original idea was just that, what would WWE go with, I guess, then? Like, who would be Vince's big guy then?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We kind of drew a blank.
Well, Piper was a heel. So you can't go with Piper. I'm trying to think. I mean... Could you go with maybe Jimmy Snuka, who kind of was in that WrestleMania 1 main event? Yeah, I mean, he kind of got a following for that steel cage spot he did. Although I kind of think that's kind of overrated spot because if you actually watch that match on YouTube, that's not the ending spot for the match. And actually, if I remember, I think Snuka even loses that match to begin with. So it's kind of great because nobody really jumped off of a cage at that height like often. But again, Snuka kind of also got kind of accused of killing his girlfriend too. So I don't know what. I mean, he hasn't been found convicted yet. Although I heard recently that they reopened the investigation for that case. So Snuka actually might have jail time yet for killing his girlfriend back in the 80s and that. You know what though? Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors, Tyler, that at one point Hacksaw was supposed to get a run with the belt at one point. I mean, the guy did win the first Royal Rumble for crying out loud. I mean, granted, it was kind of more just like a battle royal gimmick. It was like there was any like title shot guaranteed back in the day. But the story is that Hacksaw was going to get a run of the belt. But what screwed it up was that at one point he was kind of good buddies with the Iron Sheik, and this was around a time when Vince did not want to see their heels hanging out with faces. Like he wanted to keep still this illusion that these guys hate each other and that but him and Sheik and Hacksaw were buddies. Then at one point, it might have been a DUI there. I got related, but they actually got pulled over by a police officer. And sure enough, the cop looks. He says he sees the Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, sworn enemies, in the same vehicle together. And apparently, like there's like the arrest got out, made public. So everybody's like saying, "Hey, these two guys like hate each other in the same vehicle together," and that. So supposedly that's when Vince like punished both of the guys because he kind of broke that rule of he didn't want faces hanging out with heels and that, and that kind of ended Duggan's push kind of. But I still might laugh with it. Even he would have thought of Duggan in general of being a main eventer, I guess, because I don't know. I mean, the 2x4 catchphrase is kind of catching on in that. I mean, he kind of was his kind of mini Hogan, I guess you can say. Because his whole character was all American, which is pretty much what Hulk Hogan's character was. But I don't know. I just can't imagine it. But I've heard that rumor. I don't know. I mean, does Vince kind of fail maybe when it comes to launching it? Well, actually, no, I should say it. Ric Flair.
Yes.
The guy was kind of dominating the South, but he was kind of had some attention too back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, would Vince eventually, pay the guy who's been very loyal to NWA and WCW? Would he finally pay him enough to say, "Hey, I got a bigger paycheck over here," and more exposure? It's because that's kind of the deal here with these guys here is that what the main thing I think that really sold Hogan on with Vince is that he said, "Look, you're going to get national exposure, not just regional exposure, national exposure, which means more people are going to be tuning in to see you than anybody else. Period. So you already got an advantage compared to your competition already." And that. So Ric Flair already has this regional exposure down south in that, and technically maybe internationally more or less. So does bringing in Ric Flair, do you also have like this future guy maybe?
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously a possibility too.
Although the argument could be Ric Flair was maybe worked better as a heel than a face. I don't know how face of the company is going to work, but he was kind of the face of the WCW NWA for a while too in that. So I don't know. I mean, it's just interesting there because you really can't go with a no name if you're gonna start out this way. You have to go with somebody who has like an actual established, track record as selling tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, because I know some people probably Warrior was kind of working at the time along with Sting in that, but I mean, they weren't really established yet, though. And I don't know if you would set up the first national wrestling promotion with your face being a no-namer, kind of. You kind of need that already existing like brand in that. And like I said, Hogan had that brand because he worked in AWA, he worked in Japan and so on, but he also was in the movie that got released nationwide too. So I don't know. I mean, would wrestling have taken off as early as people thought? I mean, I think we would get a national promotion. I don't know if it would be Vince McMahon's brand though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could think about maybe Ted Turner who was a huge wrestling fan, maybe he would have actually been maybe the first guy to push a national brand then. Which once again probably would just mean Sting and maybe Ric Flair would be the faces then of wrestling, not Hulk Hogan then.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting, discussion there, and obviously you can post your comments, your thoughts on this. If Thunder Lips was, if Hulk Hogan was not Thunder Lips in Rocky 3.
Would it be Hulkamania?
Right. Would there be Hulkamania?
Would wrestling have taken off? I mean, and not Hulk Hogan. I mean, who would Vince probably have gone with there?
Yeah.
I mean, I can only think of really Andre, Ric Flair, probably. I mean, and I just brought up Jimmy Snuka because he's that one name in that main event that kind of gets overlooked there. Yeah. Everybody knows about Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper and Bob Orton with his cast and everything there, but Jimmy Snuka kind of gets overlooked in that match. So
yeah. So you can share your thoughts on that, and as well as the whole Dean Ambrose and John Cena storyline here with Seth Rollins and possibly the loser going to face Orton at Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
You can share your thoughts on that, and whatever else WWE maybe can do down the road here with these guys. So as always, thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned as always for the next edition of the Great Wrestling Debate. right here on the YouTube channel. So until next time, thanks for tuning in.